Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this morning. My name is Dev, and our team is excited to present our work with you today. Our project partner, as Jen mentioned, is Habitat for Humanity, and our project is focused on mapping health and energy equity in disinvested communities. So to briefly introduce our team, we are a team of 4 Dow Fellows, myself, Devin Gingrich, in the School of Medicine, Chen Liu, who unfortunately is ill today and was not able to join us. He is in the School of Urban and Regional Planning. We have Lauren Pettinga from the School of Architecture and Urban Design, and Mariam Syed from the School of Social Work, as well as the School for Environment and Sustainability.
Yes, so our project partner is Habitat for Humanity International, where we are concentrating on working alongside Habitat for Humanity affiliates. These affiliates are individuals who collaborate with families' needs while supporting funding for projects. While Habitat for Humanity is active in over 2,100 locations internationally, our team concentrates on climate zones 2 and 3, which are the orange and red colors indicated on the map. Within these 2 climate zones, we focused on 3 major affiliate partners and connecting with them. Within Climate Zone 2, this is Houston and New Orleans, and in Climate Zone 3, it is LA. So our central focus of this partnership with Habitat for Humanity started with finding opportunities for disinvested communities with energy inefficient housing. We acknowledge health and well-being worsens when the quality of housing isn't addressed, and the many limitations of funding and the differences of residential building codes on a state-by-state basis. As a team, we set out to align ourselves with Habitat for Humanity affiliates' needs, which reflect in the mission to support their endeavors for affordable, healthy, and sustainable housing, which is critical to the health of our environment and our communities. To effectively advocate for our initiatives, we focus on 3 key deliverables for Habitat for Humanity affiliates. These deliverables include Mapping Tool, which is an expansion of the Dow Fellow Team's mapping tool from last year's work. So we included Climate Zones 2 and 3, and this has health and environmental data, as well as from last year's team, which has Climate Zone 4. So this is showcased in an online platform called the Story Map. Our second deliverable is developing affiliate fact sheets to concentrate on specific housing elements for improvement aimed at enhancing human health and energy efficiencies. So this is for our focus areas, Houston and New Orleans, as well as LA. And then lastly, we created Affiliate Climate Zone Guide. So this helps funding support as well as expansion of knowledge. So to go into more detail about our individual deliverables, the mapping toolkit includes a mapping tool, shows all Habitat for Humanity affiliates in climate zones 2 and 3, with an overlay of environmental elements such as energy burden, rate of temperature changes, and also health risks. So this includes air pollution, exposure, percentage of senior citizens, as well as housing factors. So housing factors such as homes built before 1980, homes with non-electric heating sources, as well as other data such as chronic disease, such as rate of asthma, mental health issues, and then also social capital. Okay. And then this is displayed within a story map. So the story map system helps for an online platform that is easily reachable and has our data from the maps showcased within a tour guide as well as other utilization tools. To move on to our deliverable number 2, this entails the affiliate fact sheets, which feature a comprehensive 3-part template for affiliates. This template set includes the current budget of a home in the area, a comparative analysis of an area for key improvement, and an evaluation of health and long-term benefits. Utilizing data gathered from site-specific affiliate meetings and homeowner interviews, we have identified significant opportunities for improvement, which have designated as transformative elements. Our focus areas include enhancing the efficiency of HVAC systems within Houston and New Orleans, as well as improving indoor air quality in LA by addressing ventilation systems.
Deliverable number 3 was a guide for Habitat for Humanity affiliates, which provides critical context on the geography, history, climate impacts, health effects, and housing needs of these zones in an accessible and engaging way, as you can see here. By providing insights into how historical discrimination, such as environmental racism and redlining, have shaped ongoing disinvestment in climate zones 2 and 3, this guide equips affiliates to better advocate for sustainable construction in their communities. So affiliates can use this guide to supplement information in grant or funding applications, cite it as a reference, or even expand on their knowledge on these issues through the further reading section, which includes accessible resources like videos, which would be a great way for affiliates to engage with these issues.
So over the course of this year, we've learned quite a lot, not just in terms of the overall content and sort of the academic background of this project, but really some larger takeaways that we will hope to apply into our future careers. So one of the biggest things that we've learned is that community engagement is key to defining and achieving our project goals. When we started this project, we understood that we would be focusing on climate zones 2 and 3, hot and humid and hot and arid, zones that were often facing some of the worst effects of a changing climate. We had done a preliminary literature review and had an idea of what might be some transformative elements in home design that could really help these affiliates. However, we were then able to actually connect with affiliates and talk with leaders in construction, in development, and in homeowner relationships, and as well as speaking with homeowners themselves to really get a better sense of these communities and the issues that they were facing to help us determine what types of solutions might actually be most applicable and most relevant for these affiliates. One of the second things that we learned was that in terms of running a year-long project with many different stakeholders at play, the need to be adaptable and to be nimble throughout this was absolutely essential. Throughout the course of the year, there were many, not necessarily say roadblocks, but kind of unexpected things that came up, whether that was changes in affiliate availability, bandwidth to have conversations, limitations in potential data collection, but it really pushed us to redefine our scope, kind of shift some of our focus to make sure that our deliverables were staying on track with not only the time course of this year, but also what could be most useful for our affiliates. And then the third is really just the beauty of interdisciplinary work. We all are coming with different educational backgrounds and fields of study, but we also are coming with different lived experiences, different work experiences. And this is true of our Dow Fellow team, as well as our wonderful project partners and community members. And it's really wonderful to be able to pull on these different strengths of content knowledge, but also just kind of social skills and project management skills, and really figure out ways to divide labor over the course of this past year. So in terms of next steps, we do hope to continue this legacy of building on this partnership with Habitat for Humanity and Dow, and we have a few different ways that we hope our deliverables will be put into action. So the first is, we had mentioned this a little bit in terms of grant applications. So this past year, Habitat for Humanity actually secured a significant amount of funding through the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund, and we are hoping that by combining all three deliverables, affiliates will be able to apply for increased government funding. For example, affiliates in Texas had never previously applied for any government funding before, and this is just a huge opportunity for them to be able to better fund sustainable new homes at federal, state, and local levels, especially for some of the smaller affiliates that might not have a dedicated grant writer or development member on their staff. The second is really to use this for advocacy and lobbying efforts. Habitat for Humanity nationally already has a pretty big advocacy arm, but one of the biggest things that we found was that the differences in state building codes really determined the energy efficiency and really the health impacts of the home builds, and being able to improve these codes to have higher and more rigorous standards will be better for homeowners and for communities, and it's really important to push for that at different levels of government. And then the third is to continue this map expansion. We are still missing a few climate zones to really round out all of the affiliates in the US and to support habitat throughout all these different areas. So expanding this data throughout the additional climate zones, and then the ability to add additional data layers, as we did with the solar resource layer this year. In terms of our intended impact with the mapping tool, we really want to empower affiliates to have evidence-based decisions in terms of their future builds by using this map to really understand what are the most pressing health issues, what are the most pressing energy issues, and where should they be building homes in the future. The second for the affiliate fact sheets is to implement these home construction changes in new builds. Habitat affiliates do a mix of new builds and repairs, and so we really want to showcase them to say that this has a financial benefit, this has a health benefit, and this has an energy benefit, and this should be incorporated into new builds. And then the third, in terms of our Climate Zone 2 and 3 guide, is this is, as Mariam had mentioned, this is going to be excellent in terms of having background information for applying for grants and taking this in conjunction with our other 2 deliverables for larger advocacy and lobbying efforts. So thank you so much for listening to our presentation today. We have to give a huge thanks to our project partner, Molly Berg at Habitat for Humanity, our project mentor, Jared Davis, and his team at Dow, and our content expert, Jen McGray, throughout this entire project, as well as our Habitat for Humanity affiliates in Houston, New Orleans, and Los Angeles. And a big thank you to Dow for supporting this project.